Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Match Bell podcast, the place where we talk all things wrestling, past and present. Today, we're doing a retro review of WrestleMania X-7, which is considered by some to be the greatest pay-per-view of all time. If you disagree with us, leave a note in the comments, and for more content like this, like and subscribe to the channel, as that will really help us as we are a new channel. I'm your host, Stephen, and I think that the Goldust Roddy Piper car chase is the greatest cinematic match of all time. Joining me today is Alex.
Hi. I think that Shane McMahon is actually the best in the world.
We've got Richard with us.
Hi. Jim Ross isn't that good.
We've got Liam.
Hi, I think that Born to Run was the greatest SmackDown intro theme song ever.
And Johnny.
I knew they suck.
Oh, that's a hard one. Well, let's get into it. So first, what we've done is we watched WrestleMania X-7 and start with a bit of our general thoughts on the pay-per-view. I'll go last because I think I definitely enjoyed this the most. Let's go for it. What do you think? What do you think, Liam?
Well, I thought it was good, but oh my god, it felt so long. Like the new ones, like the most recent WrestleManias have been like 8 hours long, but this one felt so long, and it was only 4 hours. So I don't know whether it was just the time, and things have progressed since then, and it just felt very dated, or because I don't know, but it was good.
4 hours
it
does seem like
it just felt long.
Yeah, 4 hours does seem like a really long time for a pay-per-view back then. Back when wrestling, we didn't have as much content. I know what you mean. Anyone else?
I didn't think it was that long. I actually thought it was quite short. It was an easy watch, like lengthwise. Like I didn't feel the need to skip any in between match stuff. I didn't. It wasn't 2 days long, which was the latest WrestleMania, which was way too long. It was just
48 hours
good.
is a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it before, but it was worth watching again. And the way, like they build the matches up before the matches is a lot better, because I feel like these days we rush into pay-per-views, and back then it was like 5-6 months builds, and sometimes even a year. It was just good. It was just a really good, pleasant watch.
Alex?
Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Ups and downs throughout the thing, but yeah, solid.
Al?
Yeah, I just like I've never vibed Limp Bizkit so much in my life over the course of 4 hours. Gotta say, it was weird seeing Paul Heyman with that.
Bad ponytail.
Yeah, that's really weird.
But it was an absolute breath of fresh air to get some quality commentary, like from Jim and Paul. Like, these days I'm too used to hearing someone plug in Total Bellas or someone plug in Ride Along or something, whatever, on the network. Like, nobody cares. Just call the match. Like, every other promotion.
Great.
Yeah, every other promotion calls the match and it works. Like,
yeah, you got that play-by-play commentator really just explaining what's going on, and you got the healing it up, just
healing it up.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
Both together as
you got that really good contrast, really good chemistry with each other.
Yeah, I remember him saying. Sorry.
My only complaint with the commentary though was that it felt like the sound balancing was a bit off. So they sounded really quiet in a lot of situations. So, but that was my only complaint about commentary.
My only complaint is in the last match when the announce table gets taken out and Jim Ross comes out with, "Our monitors are gone, we can't see anything." Well, if you look about 7 foot in front of you, Jim,
it's short-sighted.
There'll be 2 grown men slapping 10 shades of God knows what out of each other.
So busy having a stroke at that time.
They're just lucky that they didn't have the hardcore match come on last, because they wouldn't have seen anything. We'll get that later.
What's going on? I don't know. Yeah, so my general
Get to
thoughts
that in
on
a
the
bit,
pay-per-view. I do think this is probably the best pay-per-view in the history of wrestling. I think it's got everything. I think you got emotional matches, you've got the technical masterpieces, you've got the spot fest matches, some of the best of all time. And yeah, I just thought this pay-per-view had everything. I could easily give it a 10 out of 10.
It had a crowd
and
as
watch
well.
it.
It was great.
That was so weird. I felt so uncomfortable at first. Like everyone's so close to each other. No one's wearing masks. What's going
Too many signs to read. You can't read all these signs on this sign.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I thought it was amazing. Right, let's get into it. So
Break it down.
break it down. So we'll go from the beginning. We got the intro. We got some great Limp Bizkit there. Some early 2000s music.
Hell, they've been going a while.
I put here that I thought the stage was a bit dull. It was a bit unexciting, uninspired. Just a big white banner.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
far as
2001
Mania's
though,
like stage setups go, that was poor.
It's low level. It's pretty poor.
Really cool. There was no
And yeah,
with that
like
arena.
like you said, we got Paul Heyman and JR on commentary. It's pay-per-view was held on April 1st, 2001 at the Reliant Astrodome, Houston, Texas. We got straight to a match. No band, no national anthem, no nothing, just straight to a match. I really appreciated that.
Which not being American is a lot
I
better.
know, yeah.
I don't want 10 minutes of, say, can you see? When it's not nothing to do with me.
It's just unnecessary fanfare to pat themselves on the back. Like,
I just want to make the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to do a national anthem if you've got different countries competing against each other, like in the Olympics or in the World Cup. But you've got Americans versus Americans, so like, why are you having a national
William
anthem?
Regal was there.
He was, yeah. And
Yeah, William
There's
Yeah.
Canadians there.
Yeah.
Canadians there, eh?
Like, you
Yeah,
don't see
so
and the British and anyone else, like the Russians or whatever, doing their national anthems, they come down to the ring. So
And there's someone from hell as well.
5 minutes of time could just be done differently. There's just no point to it.
so yeah, we
I mean, I
started
get
with
I think they should do
started
stuff
with
like
the
that.
Intercontinental Champion Jericho versus the Commissioner William Regal. So a bit of setup for this match. I literally just wrote down what happened in the package. So if you've seen it, you know what's going on. Jericho interrupted Regal in his inaugural commission speech. Regal then went to set Jericho up in a load of handicap matches. Jericho then had a pee in his teeth. And finally, Jericho dressed as Doink the Clown to beat Regal, which led to this match. We got Jericho winning by Lion Salt in 7 minutes. Quick match. And yeah, thoughts on this match?
I actually really liked it. I thought like Regal was doing all typical good heel moves, going for targeting certain areas, like what, left shoulder was it? The entire match.
Yeah,
pretty
it was
much.
targeting. Yeah.
A lot of classic stuff. I love a good bit of old William Regal. I think it was pretty good all around. Bit short, but yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of good back and forth in the match.
Mm.
Definitely, like you didn't know who had the upper hand at any point.
Yeah, not particularly.
I think that was pretty much the theme for most of the night, to be honest. I think. Apart from a certain match, but we'll get into that later. Yeah. Other than that, I think I have my little modern goggles on with this one, and the minute Jericho stepped out, I was like, "Where's Judas? Why am I able to sing along to this theme tune?"
Yeah, he came out to a huge pop as well. I thought that was interesting.
Everything
massive
sounds like a
baby
huge
face.
pop at the moment, though, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
massive babyface in this match. So yeah, I thought it was. I agree. Thought it was some great wrestling psychology, targeting the shoulder. It led to Jericho then not being able to do the lion tamer because of the shoulder injury. And yeah, that was good. Some really good selling. Thought the finish came out a bit out of nowhere though, a bit unexpected. The finish with the lion salt. I don't know if I've seen him finish.
It's got really anticlimactic.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him finish many matches with lion salt before.
Yeah, like I felt that Regal was like really, really good in this match. I think the match itself was actually really, really good. But Regal in particular just looked stellar all the way through. And I think when you kind of look back at it now, knowing where he goes in his career, it feels like such wasted potential. Like, I don't know. I feel like Regal could have done so much more. I feel like he's one of the biggest what ifs in wrestling.
He
Did he
was
ever
a
get
great
world champion?
technical. No, I don't think so.
So he got no big
But-
belts.
No, he that European Championship and stuff like that. I thought he was a fantastic technical wrestler. It was more of a comedy type wrestler, wasn't it? I suppose it's seen more as
He had
in
a
a
lot
comedy
of it,
role.
yeah.
As you could tell
I suppose.
later on when he had
So-
a funny gimmicks. And
I suppose people from Blackpool can't really be taken seriously in this business.
just anyone from Britain, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we moved on to there was a limo turned up with WCW 1 license plate. Shane starts to walk towards the camera, and then we get APA getting drunk, trying to relax, while Bradshaw gets really angry and says not to wear a hat indoors, which we know where this goes in the future. That's a lovely bit of hypocrisy there. And he gets some nice cheap pops from bigging up the crowd because he's, obviously from Texas. And then we go to the match. We got right to censor Val Venus, Goodfather, and Bill Buchanan with Ivory versus Taz and the APA with Jacqueline in a 6-man tag match. No package for this match, so I'm guessing that they're just angry because they don't want to be censored. So we're going to have a match. Taz and APA won the match when Bradshaw hits the Goodfather with a clothesline from hell in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. So yeah, thoughts on this one?
He's good at the clothesline, isn't he? Let's be honest.
It was nice. It looked
He
powerful.
had a career off it. To be
It
fair.
is a hell of a clothesline, pun fully intended on that one.
Boom.
It looks so much rougher because just how stiff that he worked.
Yeah.
And he was so jacked at this point as well. Like, the guy's massive.
Yeah, do you not feel this was definitely Vince's big sweaty men match?
Big sweaty men slapping.
Wow. Well,
It was
you've
up
got
there.
Aside from Taz.
And the problem, well, this is the problem, right? This is the problem with the way the match was done, because Taz was squashed. Like, all the offense from right center was on Taz. Taz got absolutely demolished for that entire match without getting any offense in at all. And then he gets the hot tag on Bradshaw, and then Bradshaw just one clothesline from hell. It's
because WrestleMania.
it just makes Taz look so bad.
WrestleMania's in Texas. Bradshaw's from Texas. It's that cheap Texas pop in it.
Yeah, but what I did think what was funny though was when Taz stole the hot tag from Bradshaw and he got in. So I think Farouk was in the ring, and then he goes into his corner, and then Taz just goes and tags him, and then Bradshaw's like,
I'm from Texas.
The next 3.5 minutes, so you made the wrong decision there, didn't it?
Well, that was the whole match, basically, isn't it? Just has been beaten up by right to censor. Yeah, I thought this was the perfect length for what it needed to be. Just get in and out, but get a feel good pop for the home crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, less than 4 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4 minutes and 15 seconds it was.
Yeah, it was really quick.
Probably including entrances.
So yeah,
I didn't rate this match at all.
Can I just say, I completely forgot what Right to Censor theme tune was, and as soon as that came on, if there's one thing that wants to turn this WrestleMania off, it's that theme tune.
You get it twice as well.
Twice.
I know, twice out of everything. I felt like chucking something at my TV.
Yeah, I had to turn the TV down at that time.
Too loud.
Yeah, I did. It was so annoying. Sorry, what was you saying, John? What was you going to say, Johnny, about this match?
Yeah, I just didn't rate it. It's like they just seemed hashed together, and then like all of a sudden it's like one boom clothesline done. There you go. It's like, all right, okay, that's a match, I suppose.
Yeah,
pretty much fell asleep watching it for the most part.
Fair enough. I don't know how you can get to sleep in 4 minutes. Well, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, so after that match, we get Trish wheeling around a drugged up Linda while Stephanie gets all heel on him. Stephanie wants Trish to crush the ice with her hands.
With the back of a spoon.
With the back of, it's better with the hands. I completely forgot about this Linda stuff, and I probably would have been better off staying forgotten. Yeah. So we move on to the Hardcore Champion Raven, first title match of the night. Hardcore Champion Raven versus Kane versus Big Show in a triple threat hardcore match. Again, we had no package for this match, so I'm guessing they're just fighting because they like to fight. Yeah, watching these pay-per-views in solidarity is a bit confusing because it's like I don't know what happened with Raw. You're not going to show me what the setup is. They just like to fight. I know that. Yeah, Raven plans to fight with some branches and Frankenstein's monster. Maybe that's the setup to the match.
There was a wet floor sign as well.
Wet floor sign. There was a wet floor sign, yeah. Finish to the match. Kane hit Big Show with an elbow drop off the stage, which JR called a leg drop for the win in 9 minutes and 18 seconds. Those monitors weren't working too well, were they?
Yeah, you just made a mistake as well, though. You said the first title match of the night, and the other one was the Intercontinental one. So.
Oh, boo!
Somebody else out.
Oh, he's got me there. So yeah, what's everyone's thoughts on this match?
Well, my thought is that it was leg drop.
Oh, come on, look at it.
Let's
watch it again. I need.
We'll move on from this because I'll forever argue.
It's an elbow. He hit him with his elbow.
Yeah, I don't think he hit him at all. To be fair, he jumped past him. So.
No, I don't. That's probably why he was like, "Oh, I'm missing." Yeah. Just throwing out.
To be fair, my main takeaways from this match were Kane was jacked at this time.
He's a big boy.
Like Kane looks good.
Big boy.
Also, I felt sorry for the poor camera guy that had to follow him through the crowd because the amount of bodies that were in front of that camera as he was trying to fight to get through. And I obviously have an issue with Raven and Kane choking each other with some sort of
the hose or whatever it was, yeah.
Foreshadowing the future where Daniel Bryan gets fired for choking somebody out.
Is that later on in the show?
Yeah. Well, Big Show took about half the match had already finished by the time Big Show got to the ring.
Yeah.
Somebody could have been pinned before Big Show.
Yeah, Kane could have got the win there before Big Show even got to the ring. Yeah. Big Show didn't.
Big Show knows once he enters that ring that it's over for them because he's a big man, and to be honest, Raven is about what 180 pounds wet through. So
poor Raven in this match.
Not going to be a good match for Raven, is it? Let's be honest.
Oh, I felt so sorry for Raven watching
so much.
He's thrown through walls, windows.
Oh, yeah, the window
everything.
Was good.
The wall
window.
Yeah,
it looked like it probably happened. I don't know if they were supposed to do that.
A little bit of pasta board. That's all it was.
Yeah, but
I did like though that
there's wood behind it.
There was quite a lot of comic relief with Kane in this match, though. Like there was a bit where he picks up like a wooden. I don't even know what it was. It was like a piece of wood, and he wallops
just a 2x4
over the back with it, and it snaps in half, and then he just goes and launches it behind him.
I like the bit where Big Show spends about 2 minutes getting that padlock on the door, and then Kane just goes split open.
Literally the second he's done it.
Can we discuss Kane driving a golf cart like a madman?
I love that. Running over Raven. Taking out again, Raven, he got run over as well.
The funniest bit though was just the ref just hopping on the back of the golf caddy like
let's do this.
It's right on the back of this.
The match can't end without a referee.
Good job, JR.
Yeah, so I felt a bit sorry for Raven this match. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's just
it was good
for the most part. It's like typical hardcore match. Like picked up anything, hit him with it. Wander about the place. It's good. I enjoyed it.
This kind of match, and I enjoyed it. To be fair, it's the match that I remember the most from being a kid, so it's stuck with me.
My biggest complaints from this match were Raven brought a trolley to the ring with all that stuff in, and used one thing from it.
Yeah, the wet floor sign.
Really disappointing because I would really like to see him hit someone with a tree branch.
Yeah, I was really excited to see where Frankenstein's monster was coming into this.
Yeah, But my other thing that I wrote in all caps was walking simulator.
Yeah, there's a
Because
lot of it.
Full on walking
that
simulator.
was basically what it was. It was Raven
You just
running
follow
away,
these guys.
Kane and Big Show slowly ambling behind him. And it was just like,
yeah.
oh my god. So
Yeah.
I felt like there was too much transitioning in the match and not enough.
Yeah, there are a lot of just headlocks walking. Just like dragging people
Walk
around.
to a new location, throw someone into
It
a
did-
wall. Walk to a new
did lead
location, throw someone into a wall.
It did lead to the golf cart spot though, so it made up for it.
Yeah, true.
It was a bit messy though.
Could have been a bit quicker. The way they were doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
They were doing that
Yeah,
Jason
slow
X
walk.
thing where the girl runs off and they just walk and then all of a sudden they're right behind them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it was faster than the Edge and Orton Falls Count Anywhere match. That was, my god.
Yeah,
That was too long.
that was just a lot of groaning.
Yeah.
So we're backstage now with Kurt Angle. He's watching past matches. Edge and Christian come in, and Angle gets some deep with the bear poo in the wood kind of stuff. Jimmy Snooker's in that failed. Jimmy Snooker's in the failed WWE restaurant in New York. He's having a great time. Coach speaks to an Australian woman, and she gets to send a message to the world, and all she says is WWF rules. It's like, well, why? What a waste of an opportunity! Like, you could do so much more. Am I right, Liam? And the Rock comes into an empty locker room, and he looks angry, and he gets some booze. So now we move on to Eddie Guerrero with Perry Saturn versus European champion Test. The setup for this, Guerrero lied, cheated, and stole as a ref to get Test to lose against Albert, and then he beat up Test and shouted, "See you at Mania." And I guess that's how you get European title matches. You just say, "I'll see you at Mania."
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero won the championship by hitting Test with the belt while Dean Malenko distracted the ref in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And take it away.
Just in case that is how you get a title match, Seth, I'll see you at WrestleMania.
I knew I'm putting my money on.
Hair versus hair match.
Do you like your eyeballs?
Hey, as long as I can't
Only
see
when
the
they're in
past
your
I'm
head.
bald, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I love this match. It's Eddie Guerrero being Eddie Guerrero, and just watching
I
him
don't
work.
remember Test being that good. When I think back to Attitude Era wrestlers, Test isn't one that comes to mind. But actually, watching him, he actually wasn't bad for what he was.
Yeah, I think
He
it
was
was
bigger than I thought he was as well.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
remember
huge,
him being
wasn't
like 6'6".
Eddie's only small though, we do.
That's true.
That was 6'6".
Well, I
sizable.
it's watching Eddie doing his heel stuff. It's just the best, isn't it?
There's not many as good as Eddie.
No. So we got
Yeah, he was really good. I thought Perry Saturn looking like a budget Hogan on the side kind of threw me off.
Yeah, definitely.
When they walked down to the ring, I was like, why is Hulk Hogan with Eddie Guerrero? And why is he in a really weird hat? And then the card flashed up at the bottom and it was like with Perry Saturn. I was like, oh my god, that's Perry Saturn.
Yeah, no one remembers Perry Saturn.
Yeah, it probably threw me off.
He's been in one of my quizzes, I think.
yeah, we've
I wasn't there for yours.
we've done. I've seen
He
Eddie.
did have the blonde handlebar mustache though when we did the quizzes.
Plus, you know it's
the other thing I noticed though,
on his belly, hasn't it? So.
yeah, the other thing I noticed was some of the signs. Did you see that they kind of hovered on a sign for it, probably a bit too long, that said Eddie Guerrero mows my lawn.
Oof.
Which is just a bit like
No.
you never get away with that in today's climate.
I'm gonna say this one.
There was a few signs there, to be fair.
Yeah. This pay-per-view was obviously of a different time.
Yeah.
19 years ago, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's also in Texas, which is a Confederate state.
I think I know where you're going with this, and I was going to bring it up later as well.
Yeah.
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 Let's wait till later.
Yeah. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, we will. But yeah,
back to the match.
Yeah, really
Classic
good match.
Eddie.
Classic Eddie.
No
solid
one,
Eddie match.
no one like him.
Yeah, like getting steal away to the win.
Classic. Any more on that one? Or are we? Well, let's move on.
It's just nice to watch him again.
It was, wasn't it? It would have been nice to see him. I mean, I really enjoyed it against Test, but then you see kind of like the Jericho match and stuff, and I'm standing there putting in my head like, if Eddie Guerrero fought Jericho at this Mania, if he would have swapped that around, the match we could have got there. But anyway, I digress. Michael Cole then interviews Mick Foley about being a fair ref in the McMahon match, and he gets that cheap pop for Texas. And Austin mirrors Rock, and he goes into a room and looks angry. He throws his bag. Everyone's very angry. And now we move on to the Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit match.
Loved it.
Yeah, some absolutely solid technical wrestling at the start of this
It's technical
match.
Masterclass.
I thought, what's his card was good during this as well. Paul Heyman's commentary was really good during this.
Yeah.
So
I was a big fan of him while I won.
Yeah, definitely. So basically settled for the match. Kurt came down to the ring, started saying that he's better than everyone, and he tells everyone to lose their hats, which Bradshaw earlier said we shouldn't be wearing hats indoors. And Chris Benoit gets very angry. Kurt wins with the roll up for the win in 14 minutes and 4 seconds.
Can I just say, after all that, a roll up.
I know. That's the one thing this match. You could see that they were
started. That's one thing I liked about the match. To be fair,
you could see they were building to something. This is with the start. We've just watched the start of something great. We've not seen the end. I mean, when you watch it in solidarity on its own, you do think, oh, roll up, but this was the beginning of something bigger.
I see, I was the opposite. So when watching it all, I was like, you can see Kurt getting more and more frustrated.
I love that point where
outdoing him.
I love that point. He got so angry. I love that point where he got so angry they were shit wrestling and he just decked him, just like
that's what I mean.
It's great heel work.
It's all a great story.
I just thought this was the best match so far on the card.
By far.
And it just 5-star match, just technical masterclass.
Yeah, it definitely stepped it up a level, didn't it?
It definitely turned it up at that point in the show.
Yeah. Obviously, we got a lot more to come yet. Just
one of the things I like about them as well is I like when wrestlers both have submission finishers and then they both start doing the finish at the other person's finisher.
We got Benoit doing the ankle lock.
Yeah, that's the thing about wrestling these days. I don't feel like enough people have got a signature submission move.
No. Yeah, people are too spread out in what they know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got people like Daniel Bryan doing the label lock, and then it's like, oh no, we need a high impact finisher as well. You can't just be doing submission.
It's like when we were doing the predictions. It was like pinfall or submission. It was always going to be pinfall in most matches because a lot of them don't have submission moves that you'd be like, oh, it's that submission move. Like,
I'm trying to think. Is
like the Walls of Jericho? You lock that in, and you're like, it could be over. But if someone hits like a face lock, then
sharpshooter.
Yeah, you're not like this. Yeah, it's not
Everyone
gonna.
does a sharpshooter these days, don't they? It's just another move now. It's not special anymore.
Yeah. Do you know what nobody does these days? Scorpion Deathlock.
Oh, Alex. Okay, yeah. So just all the superlatives to that match.
I just want to add to that match though.
Go for it.
Watching it without knowing the build up or knowing where it's going afterwards. The finish. I know we said the surprise roll up again. But I honestly felt like watching the match. I was like, why is this not a submission match? And then when I actually Googled what was the next match, and the next match is an ultimate submission match at Backlash. So to your point, Johnny, where you said it's a match that's building to something, like you can kind of see that in retrospect. But just watching it at the time, I was like, why is it not a submission match? So
Yeah, at the time, you see it.
negative takeaway.
Yeah, I think we're so jaded with today's wrestling. We see the roll up. It's everything's a roll up. Finish every match with a roll up, and it's just So
I honestly
we've
think
got
they could have done the finish without the roll up and still made it like where
Just
Kurt Angle's so frustrated that he has to cheat to win. Like
pin with
use-
legs on the
use
rope or
ropes.
something.
Yeah, like use the ropes to do the submission or something like that. But anyway,
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So we go backstage again. Regal calls Michael Cole a miserable specimen. Kamala then wants Regal to rub the moons on his belly while he dances on his desk. Unfortunately, Kamala is then kicked out. So then we get a troop segment at pep rally. I hear this word all the time. The Americans are always saying pep rally. What's a pep rally?
I think it's like a
rally
hype thing before a main event. I think.
It's hype. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just a hype thing.
Cool.
I don't know what was going on in 2009, but I feel like the troops were, we glad we saw these wrestlers because we can go off to war now, and
It's a nice, good feel good thing, isn't it?
Can I just say this was at the start of 2001, so a certain massive historic thing hadn't happened then, which I was going to bring up later because I was like, do you reckon if Mania 17 was in December, do you reckon Iron Sheik would have won the gimmick Royal?
Apparently not.
Should we have someone from the Middle East win this? No.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the time
still
period.
Yeah, it was dead early on that year.
Then we get Kurt Angle being interviewed by Kevin Kelly. It says the better man won. He doesn't need to respect no man.
Yeah.
Then Benoit takes him out and he's tapping again. Kurt Angle, he's always tapping. This isn't over. And then we get the next match. We get the women's champion Ivory versus China. So let's go back. Let's get some setup on this. So Ivory broke China's neck with a power driver. It was a power driver, wasn't it?
Power driver, yeah.
Yeah, and talks to she's talking to a cutout of China saying she wants to humiliate her. She will break her, just like Ivan Drago. China then took Ivory out. There was a brown panties match with Trish. That was awkward. I felt very uncomfortable watching that. A bit gross.
Wasn't censored well.
Different time. Different time.
Yeah, I know, different time. But still, today's mindset, that kind of stuff is just. So China can have no legal issues if Ivory breaks the neck again, and right censor are banned from ringside. China wins with the gorilla press in 2 minutes and 39 seconds.
It could have been over quicker.
Too long.
Yeah.
It's just bad. It's just bad.
Why did Ivory come out first? As well.
Yeah, she's the champion. She should.
Why did the champion come out first? That makes no sense.
No, I hate when they do that. Yeah, you got to keep the sanctities of wrestling. Yeah, it wasn't a good era for women's wrestling, was it? Really, no. These great performers on the card. You've got some fantastic wrestlers. You got like Jacqueline and Trish and Lita, some China as well. It's just a shame that the way this division was seen back then.
Yeah, I think it was that transition into the Divas.
Yeah, they called them Divas at the pep rally, didn't they?
Yeah. I think it was that slow, degrading transition into it before we actually got the women's revolution that we have now.
It really says a lot when the least objectified woman on the roster is Ivory, because she's been forced into a censor gimmick. So.
Yeah, I just thought this was the worst thing on the card.
Terrible finish.
I just thought it's a shame. I think China in a better era of wrestling could have been something special.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on from that one as quickly as we can. So now we're backstage, and Vince wants to make sure that Linda is extra medicated, and Trish must bring Linda down to ringside but when Shane is immobile, and we move on to the match. Vince McMahon with Stephanie McMahon versus Shane McMahon in a street fight with Mick Foley as a special guest ref. So some setup for this. We've got a lot here. We've got a lot to go through. This was one of the biggest packages of the night. Vince wanted to divorce Linda. He was doing weird stuff with Trish, getting her to bark like a dog and stuff. It was degrading him. I felt another. I know it's the era, but another moment that I felt really uncomfortable watching this. I was like,
We can't keep Shane then.
no, but like she's such a good wrestler. She should be in a big match on this card. She shouldn't be. But anyway, Shane beat up Vince, and he said, "Do you want to play, Dad?" Vince won't back down and won't forgive. He won't forgive Linda for giving birth to Shane. I feel like he was kind of involved in that as well. But Vince then bought WCW. But wait, there's a McMahon name on the contract, but it's Shane's. Shane now owns WCW. Just like WCW kicked Vince's ass, Shane's going to do the same. Shane had the No Chance in Hell music, which made me sad because I was really ready for Here Comes the Money. That made me sad. We've got the WCW.
It took me by surprise.
I was like,
that music
what's going on?
Yeah, it really threw me off.
I was like, I'm so
music then.
yeah, so the WCW stars are in a box, and I'm sure I've read something. I may be completely wrong out here, but I'm sure they were supposed to get involved in the match, but one of them spoiled something, and they completely rewrote the match.
Like Bagwell, where
yeah,
I don't know.
It's not just me like making that up.
And I can't remember the entire story, but basically, they got in a bit of hot water, and then Vince from the match, wrote them out of the match. But yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was. But...
No, I just remember reading something about it. So yeah, Shane wins the match in 14 minutes and 12 seconds with a coast to coast. And yeah, thoughts. Let's get some thoughts on this match.
I'll be honest with you, I was bored.
You was?
This match, yeah. Really? But mate, Vince just isn't a wrestler.
Neither of them are.
That's why it was a street fight.
Exactly. I thought.
Yeah, but
I really enjoyed this one. Maybe it's just my Attitude Era tinted goggles being on.
I really enjoyed it.
I thought with the lack of wrestling, I thought they completely made up for it with storytelling and emotion.
Yeah, definitely the biggest storyline of the night. And I don't think a woman standing up has ever had such a reaction.
I've never seen Linda get such a pop. That pop for Linda when she stood out of that chair. Yeah. Oh my God, it was definitely...
And it was like... I'm just here in my bedroom by myself, and I was like, oh my God, she stood up!
Yeah.
I thought she was medicated.
I got so excited. I was like starting to shiver and
Yeah, imagine being I've just stood up, this crowd's going mental, and then all I have to do now is kick him in the balls. And it was the worst kick in the balls.
Not the balls. Not the balls. The McMahon family jewels.
Such a terrible kick. I was like, oh no, that was rubbish.
And you saw him like spread his legs as well. Like,
yeah, he did. Yeah,
it was
so.
Vince is the one that botched it because he closed his legs too quickly. If he just grabs the ball, he's in between.
And just see Shane like like some Scooby Doo thing.
I thought that was an awesome finish. The way that kind of from that moment leading on, with like Trish getting the retribution and chasing off Stephanie and all that, and the coast to coast. It is so nice. It looks so nice.
If they tried doing that these days, you'd be like, they've done too much. They've so much stuff has happened during this match. It's like they've crammed it all in. But it really worked with that match, just how much happened. And I guess that is because of the slow build and the payoff was there at the end. But if they did that these days, I'd be like, that's just too much storyline in one thing.
You could say the crowd was so into it the whole way through. The crowd was so loud; they were enjoying it. We had the Mick Foley stuff with Vince, and Mick ended up beating up Vince and stuff.
I think I agree with you though, Alex, where it was like it was a boring match, but it had good storytelling.
No, don't get me wrong. Like it had some high notes.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I just weren't feeling it.
That's fair.
On a pro wrestling pay-per-view, it was lacking wrestling.
Yeah,
but I don't think you always need that. we've got
No, it was fine.
there's matches on the card where we've got like some of the best wrestling that you'll see. This was about the story, and it went on for 14 minutes. It might have been a bit too long, but
I suppose the match can get away with having no wrestling and just being pure storytelling. It's a Vince McMahon match, so
yeah, there's some in the future that we might talk about that probably don't get away with it, but I feel like this is one of the ones that does. Shane did his the signature dive elbow drop through the that poor Spanish announce table.
I think that's when it actually started lifting.
It was destroyed this night.
Well,
that point, it was crap.
Yeah, so that's one Spanish announce table that we've lost during our reviews. So
like a counter in the bottom corner.
We do need some kind of counter. Can Jack make that?
It got broke twice in this pay-per-view. It
Yeah,
got replaced by a dodgy table.
I know. We're going to come to that, Alex. Don't worry. The counter will be at 2 by the end of the night.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Yeah, I enjoyed it. That's all I have to say.
The coast to coast was great to watch. Yeah, he does do a really good job of that.
Mm.
And I don't feel like any other person could do it, and I'd be like, I accept that. You know, it's just
Doesn't Rob Van Dam do it?
RVD.
Oh yeah, sorry, he did it.
Yeah,
like
RVD.
before, but like it looks.
But
So
the
good
Shane
doing
does it, yeah.
Like the whip on the
For a
legs
man
to go from behind him to in front of him, and then just like
So
good.
for a man that can't throw a punch.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He winds them up. He does a really good job of it.
But yeah, anyway, better than I do. Yeah. Anything else to say about that match? Cool. So we go backstage again. Kevin Kelly.
Wait, sorry, that last match. Can I say something about it?
Yeah, go for it.
Those WCW lads in the crowd look so bored. Like they were watching from above, weren't they? And there was a camera behind them, and every time it pans them, they were just sat there like.
Yeah, just deadpan.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Well, like at one point where they're all clapping, and I'm sure I think it's Lance Storm, and he just kind of sits there and goes.
Yeah. They were not bothered at all.
But Lance Storm's never come across as the kind of guy that outwardly shows his excitement to me. Let's move backstage. So we got Kevin Kelly interviewing Matt and Jeff about TLC 2. We're all very excited. See if we can outdo TLC 1. Matt says it may be the last time, but we all know that TLC lives on. Triple H looks angry in a room. We got another angry wrestler. Everyone's angry. Undertaker punches the air. He's also angry. And we are now at TLC 2. We got the Dudleys versus the Hardys versus Edge and Christian. Set up for this match. They all just want to raise the bar and outdo TLC 1. The finish to the match. We get new champions. Rhino carries Christian up the ladder to grab the title while Edge holds Devon's ankle, so he can't climb the ladder. Let's do it. Let's go for it. This match.
This match was incredible.
Spot fest.
Poor Spike.
Poor Spike. Oh my.
Poor Spike.
Poor
Spike. Every single one took such a heavy bump at one point in the match. Christian falls from a 12-foot ladder onto the floor. I was like, oh my god, he's dead.
It was so painful.
Jeff swantons through the table and nearly kills himself.
Through 2 people from that giant ladder. Not the regular sized ladder.
Was it Rhino and Spike?
Yeah.
So he hit that, and I was like, "Oh, Rhino!" And then I just saw Spike underneath it. I was like, "Oh, Spike was there as well."
This was just this.
Was it Jeff that got speared off the titles?
Off the titles, holding the title.
He tried to walk across ladders, but then botched it a little.
Oh yeah, no. That was always going to be hard, though. I think.
This is the moment you watch, and I understand why Edge had neck problems later in his career.
Yeah, that space spot still holds up though.
The way he
it's so good.
The way he springs up from the spear.
Like the bit when because someone pulls him towards the corner and then allows him to swing into it as well, doesn't they? I can't remember, but I'd forgotten that bit happens as well. I was like, oh, that's a nice bit of a story, I think it's Devon. Fitting it in there.
Devon drags the
Yeah, I think it
ladder
was, yeah.
back.
And lets him go, and then he swings into the spear. It was just a really well managed spot. It'll go down in history
Was.
forever. That.
Did this whole match well. The whole match, just everything, the way they worked it, the way everyone got the great spots. And I think, obviously, if every match is like this, I think that'd be rubbish. But there's definitely a place for this kind of wrestling, and it was amazing. Just adrenaline filled, brutal.
It's sort of that match that gives you like shades of what's to come, isn't it? Really, because that is basically what modern wrestling is in a lot of cases. Just
that kind of spot,
high energy.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think these did it so well, and I think it still stands up today. Yeah, I even thought we got Spike, Lita, and Rhino. They all got some good moments as well. Spike, poor Spike.
Well, yeah. At one point, he saves Lita, and then Lita later on cracks
chair shot. Oh my god, she hits him with a chair. He doesn't protect himself. Nothing. It's directly onto his head, and it just looks like it looks so horrible. It made me feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. I also don't understand why Lita suddenly decided she was going to be in a bra and panties match halfway through it as well. Like, what was going on there? Like, what did she do? Is it I think it might be after she hit Spike. She like wallops Spike on the head. Like, just strips. And it's like, why? What are you doing?
Yeah, nobody will hit me now.
It's a different time.
I just, I can't say enough good things about this match. It's 5-star for me. It's one of the best matches on the card. In many
memorable matches.
On many other cards, this would easily be the best match. It's just that there's so many good matches.
Yeah.
I was the end was
pretty
pretty high
as
caliber.
well, weren't there, when two of them went through the tables that were on the entrance ramp?
Yeah.
I think it was Matt and
Bubba
yeah.
and Matt. Yeah.
Bubba.
I like the idea of when wrestling matches happen and they set up a table and they don't just use it straight away, and they allow so much to happen that you forget that that's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it happens, and you're like, oh, they're gonna go for it. Remember him setting that up?
Oh God, he just went through 4 tables.
It's usually the person that sets it up that goes through it. That seems to be the rule, doesn't it?
Most of the time.
Yeah. Although I noticed this match, Bubba and Devon set up a table, and then Matt goes through it. So I was like, because I was expecting, I was like, oh, there's the table up. They're gonna go through the table now. But then
the Dudley set up tables every single night, and you don't go through them every single night. That's different. It's different with the Dudleys. Yeah. Right, I'm going to move us on now because we've still got a few more matches to get through yet. Backstage, we get to look at Access and all the fans having a good time, all getting to interact with each other, coming close to each other. One day maybe we'll get to do that.
Doesn't Access look good?
Yeah.
It does look fun, doesn't it? I wish we weren't all so poor.
I love when they have these kind of event things on, and then they always have like game consoles there, like
just random
playing. Just imagine
games.
them being like, "Come on, son, we're going to this thing. Get off your Xbox," and then you go to this thing, and they're like, "I found the Xbox again."
On the Xbox.
But then it's 2K21, and they fixed everything.
No, they haven't.
We also get the announcement of the attendance. We got 67,925.
Yeah, this was also a record-breaking pay-per-view for the amount of pay-per-views sold as well. It was the first one to go over 1 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Can we just discuss that attendance?
It's WWE. I never know if it's real or not.
The
thing is, you look at the size of that stadium, and then compare it to somewhere like Old Trafford that holds 74,000 without people standing on the pitch.
Yeah. It's weird to think that they've never done it in England.
Yeah.
Like, imagine 90,000 at Wembley and people stood on the pitch as well.
You'd be breaking records left, right, and centre in England.
I guess
it'll never happen.
You do cut off a quarter of the stadium though for like you have the wall, don't you, where they come out from?
Yeah, true.
But not always. Like at Royal Rumble this year, they didn't need to do that because they came out halfway through the crowd, didn't they?
Yeah. So now we got ourselves a gimmick battle royale.
Ooh.
Gimmicks a battle royaling.
Go on, Iran.
Mean Gene and Bobby the Brain Heenan are here to comment. We got the Bushwhackers. We got Duke the Jumps of Drozy. I always pronounce his name wrong. We got the Iron Sheik. We got Earthquake. We got Goon, Doink the Clown, Kamala with Harvey Whippleman Harvey Whippleman and Kimchi. We got Repo Man, Jim Cornette, Nikolai Volkov, Michael P.S. Hayes, One Man Gang, the Gobbledygooker, Tugboat, Hillbilly Jim, Brother Love, and finally Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter wins the match in 3 minutes and 4 seconds.
Wait, Sergeant Slaughter?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
Iron Sheik won the match by last eliminating Sergeant Slaughter.
Shocking.
And then he got angry because
I've got here that he eliminates Hillbilly Jim.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I don't.
Oh, you messed it right up.
I just know that Sergeant Slaughter got back in that ring to beat up the Iranian terrorist.
Yeah.
Oh, terrorism wasn't a thing back then. Like,
yeah, but you know what they're
till there was that.
Yeah, you know.
I'm just surprised.
No, it's the cheap pop of America.
Yeah, it is. It's the cheap pop for the USA.
I'm just surprised that after this was all over and we were back in the ring, that the referee Teddy Long didn't make it a tag team match. He didn't make him go 1-on-1 versus the Undertaker. Yeah, it was what it was.
It was
I literally have no notes.
But why is Michael P.S. Hayes allowed to wear a Confederate flag down to the ring?
Yeah, that's right.
Mike Hayes is a.
I don't care if it's 2001.
That's your only issue with all this.
That's the only issue. Yeah. Well, that is a big issue, Alex.
So much closet racism in that.
I know.
Gimmick racism. Gimmick racism.
Yeah.
There was so much. And
racism. Full stop.
That just
I suppose.
Because they put the flag on show. Like, as he's coming down the ring, they literally pan the camera around behind him to show the entire flag. And it's like, do you understand what that flag means, right?
No, back then, no.
No, not in that time.
Do you have a match length for this written down, Steve?
3 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah, so I had the wiki open whilst I was watching it, and it said 3 minutes and 7 seconds, and I was like, that's a short match for a battle royale. And I was like, there must only be like 6 people in it or something. And then they just kept coming out, and I was like, how is this wrong? Have I got the wrong timestamp for this match?
The entrances definitely took much longer than the match.
And then it was like 3 minutes. I was like, wow, that was just so unnecessary. And the crowd didn't actually look bothered by it at all. Like, I think it was just the what's it called, like a confectionery break. Like, go and get your drinks and your,
go get drinks.
Yeah,
definitely. We got a couple of big matches coming up. You won't want to take a break after this.
I mean,
so yeah,
I had Beth, my wife, for everybody who's listening, was watching this.
No one listening.
Yeah, was watching the battle royale with me, and even she was just like, "How?
How'd you get away with that?
How'd you get away with it?" And also, this is gonna go on for ages. And all of a sudden, she turned around again and she's like, "Oh, they're all out of the ring."
I literally looked at my phone, messaging my missus, and then by the time I looked back, it was over. I literally didn't watch it at all.
It was a complete waste of time.
It was such a waste of time.
I just kind of didn't affect me at all. Like, it didn't make me. I don't know. Well, with the women's match, it made me a bit angry because I was like, this deserved better. With this, it was just like, ugh. No.
It's literally a pop for all the old territory wrestlers, and then that's literally about it.
They should have just scrapped this match and let the women's go on longer.
Yeah.
3
So
minutes and 7 seconds longer. Yeah.
We move straight on to the Undertaker versus Triple H.
That
was this
great,
match.
by the way. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was great. But we'll get to that after we set up the match. So Triple H had beaten everyone. He'd beaten everyone's heroes. The Taker, because he ain't beat me, I'll make you famous. Triple H then attacked him with his bike, and he got him on the bike because he's already famous for crippling people. He got the shovel out. You got it. Taker got mad and smashed his limo, threw Triple H into some police officers. Then we get a restraining order, and Kane then tries to murder Stephanie McMahon. He was going to throw her from a 3-story stairs. Like, yeah, then
That
Regal
was
was
so
like,
funny.
okay.
It was a doll, wasn't it? He was definitely holding a doll up there.
I don't even know.
I love the idea of him stood there holding a mannequin, and then Stephanie like on the other stairs going, "No, please don't save me, don't do it."
That's almost as bad as Stephanie filming her cameo for this year's Money in the Bank.
And then, so yeah, Regal obviously gave Taker the match because they were about to murder one of his boss's daughter. So yeah, Triple H got angry. Triple H takes Taker's motorcycle, and he's gonna kill him. So we get the match. Motorhead come out. And they're gonna kick our asses.
Trying to botch our own song.
Thanks, yeah. So then he got the words wrong, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Pretty sure he got the words wrong. He got a lot of the words wrong. But it's Lemmy. I mean,
it was a different
he
time
would
as
have
well on the song. It was weird.
He was
like watching a geriatric sing their own song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Lemmy. He can do what he wants. He probably had
It was still
a
good.
lot
It was
of
good
whiskey.
Yeah,
he had a lot
They
of
should
whiskey.
do more live bands at like big pay-per-views like that.
I always enjoy it. It's good. Taker hits the last ride for the win in 18 minutes and 17 seconds. And yeah. So my first note that I've got here is the poor Spanish announce table.
Yeah.
They set up the little makeshift table for the monitors after they'd already had the other one destroyed, and Taker just put Triple H through it without a thought. So we've lost 2 Spanish announce tables now, and that makes me sad. But yeah, I thought this was a great match. It was just a fight, wasn't it? It was just fighting.
Yeah.
The one complaint I have about this match, I have one complaint.
I have one, mate.
The ref, when he got hit by Taker, he was out for half an hour.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've got written down.
That's the exact thing that I put as well. I was like, ref bumps for days. 10 minutes.
Like, if you want to make this a no disqualification match, make it a no disqualification match.
Yeah.
We don't need the ref to be out. And then when he wakes up, he's like, maybe I should disqualify Undertaker for attacking me. Did you just forget that?
The problem with the whole thing with the ref being down for like 10 minutes was at the beginning of the match when Triple H pushes Mike Chioda. Mike Chioda actually fires back.
Oh, that was great. I was like, yes, referee, that's what you should do.
Stand up for yourself.
I wish more refs did that. I loved that when that happened. Triple H's face, he was like he didn't. It looked like he didn't expect it. It was really good sell by him.
Yeah. And as I was watching it, I was like, do you know what? There's so much there's great use of ref presence in this match. Like Mike Chioda is proper getting stuck in, which you just don't see anymore. Because like the refs now in modern wrestling are supposed to be invisible. So like
that's what
it
I
just
love that.
doesn't
Don't agree with that.
work as well.
Same feeling.
Like I felt like the ref playing a huge part in the match with Mike Chioda getting involved was so good until he takes that bump and he's gone for like half a year.
It wasn't just a bump, was it? Didn't the elbow drop him?
No, take an elbow drop.
Yeah.
But he took a bump first, and then he carried on. He got up and he counted. And I was like, oh wow, the ref took a bump, and he got straight back up. I was like, that's great. And then 2 seconds later, he was out for half an hour.
Taker's beating him today.
Yeah, do you reckon Taker was like, you better sell this one?
Oh,
I sold it enough. Oh wait, they're not even in the ring. Oh.
I know.
It all 10 minutes.
It was just good fight, wasn't it? They got stuck in. They threw a lot of punches.
Do you know what? It was refreshing to see a quick Taker.
Yeah.
Can we give him a bike?
To see him like that.
Can we give him a bike? You know, even when he's not wrestling.
Just for a second.
We got more Limp Bizkit here because the show's not had enough Limp Bizkit so far.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit, great, better than Kid Rock.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah, the Triple H was good. Undertaker was good. The referee was good. The crowd was awesome.
It's classic Attitude Era. It's like what you think of. when you
The
think actually they-
sledgehammer from the last ride was amazing as well.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Do you know
There was
what
some really fantastic spots.
that was a prop sledgehammer.
Was it?
Yeah, so apparently they didn't want to use a real one because it would have been too heavy to carry over into the flip, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So we used a prop one thinking it'll be fine, and it had just hit him. But the prop head of the hammer fell off. So splinters of the wood is what cut Undertaker open. So that was a sheer accident that he got busted open.
That's brutal.
But I think the blood in this match really added to it.
Yeah, I think it can definitely add to a match like that.
I've got some thoughts on the blood in the next match, but we'll get to that when we get to it. I thought the blood in this match actually really did help the match.
Well, let's. Anyone else got anything to say, or should we move on to that?
The spot where they do it in the technical box was good. Is that what it's called? I don't know.
Oh, well, the sound.
The little ring. Yeah.
When they throw him over the side, and then it's just. And then he elbow drops it and pushes the EMTs out the way. Get off him! That was I really enjoyed all that happening over there.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
So we've got we go backstage. The Rock's walking, and Austin's deep in thought, and the time is now. WWF Championship match. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. So yeah, set up. Stone Cold wins the Rumble to win the match, to get the match. Rock won the title from Angle. That sets up what we're gonna get tonight. We got a package with more Limp Bizkit music. The Rock sneaking up on Austin a few times. Vince then says that Austin's wife Deborah is now managing the Rock, but the Rock didn't want this. She's not his responsibility. So Angle's gonna break her ankle, and Austin stops it and he attacks him because the Rock should have been protecting her, but. You know how it goes. So yeah, basically they were going back and forth, both coming out on top, leading up to the match. And now, as they come into the ring, we get the announcement that the match is now no DQ, which seems to shock everyone.
Yeah, it was a bit sudden.
New champion. We get a new champion. Stone Cold wins the match after he hits 100 finishers. McMahon helps him and then finally beats him to death with a chair in 28 minutes and 8 seconds.
Brilliant match.
I loved the false finishes at the end.
I was so excited. I forget what it feels like. Yeah.
Going into it blind, because I've not watched this mainly for ages and stuff, so completely going into it with a fresh perspective. Seeing all that, I was like, oh. Oh, now he's been. Oh, whoa, what's going on? Yeah. It was like being a kid watching the most amazing thing ever.
That's what I've got in my notes. It's feeling like being a kid again, taking back to those moments, feeling so excited for wrestling, getting so emotionally invested in it, and just the payoff just lived up to all my expectations and more.
And they didn't
I love the player after the theme as well. The Disturbed one. I love that.
Oh,
thing.
yeah, the Disturbed thing.
Great.
Yeah.
I missed that one.
So good.
What was your
I
favorite?
didn't use the finishes either. So there wasn't 3 stunners in a row. There was no Brock Lesnar shenanigans where it's just save up one finish and then save up your finish and then spam them all at once. It was literally we've hit Rock Sharpshooter, which is terrible, by the way. It was the funniest part of the match was the Rock trying to figure out which leg went over which one. And going, forget it, and grab them both.
Yeah.
So we had the Rock Sharpshooter, then we had a proper Sharpshooter from Austin, then we got the People's Elbow, then we got Austin doing the Rock Bottom, then we got a Stunner, and none of them were repeated. Whereas now, you just get 10 AAs in a row to keep.
I always love that one. So it's a wrestler stealing another wrestler's finisher and stuff.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, it was really
I
good.
love that.
Didn't in the previous match, didn't Triple H try and do the last ride as well? Was that?
Tries to Tombstone and then take
Tombstone.
and they actually get it. They this time, unlike the Roman match where they botched it.
Oh,
So it was nice to
I
see
just-
a tombstone that actually went right.
I felt like this match went so quick. For the 28 minutes, it was just non-stop. There was hard hitting
Yeah.
action, just constant, just constant,
Yeah.
and it's brutal. And it just, yeah, oh, it's giving me shivers thinking about it now. I'm so excited about this match.
I
Plus,
didn't
we got
like
the legendary cell.
What's that, sir?
I
We
didn't
got
like
the legendary cell. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You both get-
I'll let you go.
All right, no, sorry. I was just want to say that I didn't really like the stipulation at first, but I understand why they had to do it to get the finish. But like, there's parts in the match where they've got this no DQ stipulation, but then it doesn't play a part. Like, no DQ
Start
means
breaking
no
holds
break,
and stuff.
but
Yeah,
the rope breaks.
breaks.
I was just like, why? Why are you breaking the rope? Like, why are you having rope breaks when it's a no DQ match?
Yeah.
So that. But anyway, sorry, Johnny, you were saying.
Yeah, we had the classic Rock selling the stunner as well in this one, didn't we? Just doing all the
Oh,
flipping
yeah.
for the rope and
The Rock trying to
Yeah,
roll
the-
the moon with the stunner cell. Yeah,
the legendary cell. I love
Right.
that one.
flips
I just-
himself inside out.
the two guys as well. I thought Austin was flawless. Everything he did was so on point. There's no mistakes made. This was probably The Rock's best performance of his career. And Rock, he's had some great performances, but I'm not saying to say like, but his emotion, his selling, the way he sold everything, it was so believable. Everything felt so believable and real. It was
Yeah.
just
Different
oh,
level.
I didn't realise The Rock was only 28 years old in this match as well. Like,
so young. Yeah.
my God, he could go.
Mm.
He looks so young. Yeah. My only issue with this match was I don't really know what the blood added to it.
It was the attitude era. A match had to have blood, didn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, I understand it's like this big grudge match. And it's like Austin's coming for the title, but he's also mad because his wife's been injured and Rock was supposed to be like keeping an eye on her, making sure she was safe and all this stuff. So there's
Yeah.
like bad blood between them. But I don't think the blood really added anything to the match because it was already going to be a hard hitting match without the blood. But like you say, Attitude
Yeah.
Era. Every match is a first blood match in an Attitude Era.
I really enjoyed the ending as well. I enjoyed Vince coming down. It kind of added to that story you'd seen in the package before, Austin saying like he'll do anything and everything to get this title, and he did. He couldn't beat The Rock. The Rock just would not give in this match. He won't give up, and he got so emotional. And then he's like, yeah, he'll do anything. He'll side with his greatest enemy to win this match. And I've heard Austin speak about this afterwards and said, like, at one point he wished he would have called an audible and just gave Vince the stunner, but I'm not thinking about what came after. Just thinking about this match and the way it did. I thought it was perfect. I really enjoyed it.
The great twist.
I think if he'd stunned him though, it would have ruined that whole turn that they had going on. Because like The Rock went from heel to face, and Austin went from face to heel, just in that moment.
It was so natural and gradual throughout the match. The way the crowd shifted.
Storytelling.
They were still
Yeah,
behind him, the crowd, even after he'd
For the most part, yeah. Even when he's
They were,
like,
yeah,
monitors into him and
hometown, innit?
You could tell though. You could tell they were cheering The Rock more though.
Yeah,
Like,
at
they
the
were
beginning,
booing The Rock less.
the pops were, yeah, I agree. At the beginning, the crowd would seem to be cheering so much more for Austin, but gradually throughout the match, the way Austin was so aggressive, and I think the crowd just got that the respect for Rock, just the way he wouldn't give in, the way.
When The Rock goes for the elbow, you can hear it, like the pop for the elbow. There was also a pretty funny part in the match where they set him up on the English announce table and then he just collapsed.
Yeah, the sheer weight of that man.
The sheer weight of the man just collapsed to the table.
Which also destroyed Jim Ross's eyesight.
Yeah.
I mentioned
He
earlier.
did, yeah. He couldn't see then.
Yeah.
he's
Take
having a
those
stroke.
monitors out. Jim Ross can't see anything.
Yeah, he's been around Seth Rollins, hasn't he?
Ooh.
Not at that point, that'd be weird.
Oh well. Don't put Jim Ross in a wrestling match. We've seen what it's not good. Jesus.
Yeah, anyway, back to the match.
JR had some good commentary in this as well, actually, when he was talking about shaking hands with the devil at the end. It's very iconic moment.
Poignant, isn't it? Yeah.
You son of a.
The other interesting thing was JR was supposed to be the face commentator, but then the longer the match goes on, as Austin turns, JR turns as well. So right at the very end, where he's just like you say, he's shook hands with the devil, or he's made a deal with the devil, or whatever.
Yeah, I think he gets a realization at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like so in Austin's corner, and like everything that Austin's doing that's like a heel tactic. JR's just like, yeah, he needs to do it. He's got to do what he has to do to win. And then right at the end, he's like, oh my god, what are you doing with Vince?
Which is good because it makes the commentators look like they're invested in the story themselves.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Because Heyman told him about it.
What JR is now.
And that was the end of the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where we finished. Again, thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought there was a few 5-star matches on there.
I think overall probably about 7, 8 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, I'd still give it a 10. I think the highs far outweigh the lows, and I'd still give it a 10.
Can't think of a better show.
I know.
I think for me, a perfect show needs every match to at least be decent.
There's never going to be that, though. There's never going to be that. I'm not saying 10 out. Go on, Alex. Sorry.
It's obviously no Great Balls of Fire, is it? But I mean,
I'm not. When I say 10 out of 10, I'm not saying it's perfect. I don't think anything can be perfect, but I think it's as near to perfect as we're ever going to get.
And you say like every match has got to be 10 out of 10, but you have to have you need to give the crowd a rest. You have to have the gimmick royale.
Every match is a 10 out of 10, then no match is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, imagine if that gimmick royale was a 10 out of 10 or anything. Like, honestly, what had to happen in that royale? The gobbledygook Duke had to win, and then he takes it off in his bed. Why? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah. Called it. That's what I wanted.
Anyway, this has been Matchbell Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, give us a like. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.